Morning, friends. It's a beautiful day today for Father's Day. I know that can be complicated, but for those who celebrate, happy Father's Day. So this weekend, I read a little brief piece by Richard Rohr, who, if you've been watching along, you know I am a fan of. And he was talking about sort of liminal space, so the space between, or the Latin literally means threshold, perched to enter something new, right on that cusp of what was then and what is coming. And that's kind of, for me, has been a really hard place to be, the not quite there place, particularly if it's coming from grief or a place of trying to heal, and I mean that physically, emotionally, or spiritually. That liminal space that I'm not where I was, but I'm not where I'm going, can be really hard, disorienting, not arrive. And Rohr, in his writing, this is from the book Yes, and he was reframing that as sacred. That those in-between spaces where we're very aware that we're on the way somewhere, but we're not there yet. Or I almost think of, seeds planted that haven't sprouted yet, but we know they're there. He reframed that as the sacred space that's ripe for an encounter with the divine. That is also pretty profound space for cultivating patience and presence. Can we just be in the right now, even if the right now is not well defined? And I think part of the trap that we get caught in as we grow up is we spend a long time thinking we know what we want and then working for it, and then we get some version of there and we find that it's not what we thought it was, and there has to be a shift, midlife crisis, that kind of moment. And then that shift of the what was and what has been can be a really fertile spot to open oneself to new possibilities, to let go of what was and prepare for what's coming. And it's an important space, even though it can feel frustrating, in the necessity for patience, the necessity just to wait and see what's coming, and it alerts us that I am not the only actor in my life. I am not fully and totally responsible for bringing about the next age of my becoming. I have to rely on someone else. I have to be dependent in a way. And sort of culturally, that's not something I ever thought was a good thing. Being dependent is to be hyper-individual and fully self-sufficient, because we're adults. And liminal space invites something different. So your invitation today is look for those in-between spaces in your life. If there's some behind you, I encourage you to examine them and think about how the divine showed up there. And if you're in one now, keep breathing. This too shall pass, and there's some profound possibility in the liminal. And if you're headed towards one, well, you'll get there, and you'll get through it. And maybe do your best to receive the invitation to depend on your higher power. Have a beautiful day, friends.